What if God created marriage more for our holiness than our happiness? That question alone has the power to completely change the way we look at relationships. Today, our culture tells us that marriage is about romance, feelings, and personal fulfillment. If it makes you happy, stay. If it doesn't, leave. We've reduced marriage to a contract, something you can cancel when it stops serving you. But historically, and biblically, marriage was never just a contract, it was a covenant, and there's a difference. A contract is built on mutual benefit. A covenant is built on commitment, even when it costs you something. The foundation of any stable civilization has always been the two-parent family built on marriage. When that foundation weakens, society begins to fracture. We've seen it happen. When divorce becomes easy, when commitment becomes optional, when feelings become the highest authority, children are often the ones who carry the deepest scars. In fact, one of the greatest fears among children is that their parents will divorce. That tells us something powerful: marriage isn't just about two adults. It's about the next generation. But here's the deeper truth: marriage is hard. Why? Because you're putting two broken people into one relationship. There will be friction. There will be conflict. There will be moments when love feels more like work than emotion, and maybe that's the point. Gary Thomas, in his book Sacred Marriage, asks a provocative question: what if God designed marriage more for our holiness than our happiness? Holiness means growth, refinement, becoming more like Christ. Marriage exposes selfishness. It confronts pride. It forces forgiveness. It demands sacrifice. In other words, it becomes a sanctification process. Sometimes your spouse becomes the very instrument God uses to shape you. That doesn't mean marriage isn't joyful. It doesn't mean happiness doesn't matter. But it does mean happiness isn't the ultimate goal. Growth is. Now, this doesn't mean everyone must get married. The Apostle Paul, in 1 Corinthians 7, actually says that if someone can remain single and fully devote themselves to the Lord, that is a beautiful and honorable path. Singleness is not a deficiency. It's not a failure. It can be a calling, but not everyone has that calling, and if we universalize singleness, humanity would disappear pretty quickly. So here's the balance: marriage is sacred, but not mandatory. Singleness is honorable, but not superior, and both are meant to glorify God. The real danger is not choosing one or the other. The real danger is redefining marriage into something it was never meant to be: just a feeling, just romance, just self-fulfillment. Because once marriage becomes only about feelings, then commitment becomes optional, and when commitment becomes optional, stability disappears. Maybe the real warning isn't that marriage is outdated. Maybe the real warning is that we've forgotten what it was designed for. Marriage isn't just about finding someone who makes you happy, it's about becoming someone who is more like Christ, and that changes everything.